Hi everyone, and welcome to the start of a new series where we cover how to do local multiplayer. This is for those couch co-op moments in a video game that you may not know how to actually achieve, or how we actually work around the issues of a multiplayer game in a single project. So let's jump in and take a look at how we get started with this. So I'm currently in Unreal Engine 5.5 and I want to make this a multiplayer game. Okay. Now, if we want to make it multiplayer for local multiplayer, the thing we need to test is how many players are playing at any one moment. Now, the way we do this is not through things like here number of player over here, because that is if we're doing online multiplayer. So instead, what's going to happen is we're going to create a new blueprint class, choose a game mode base, and we'll make our own game mode. And whenever you want to add more players to your game, all you got to do is add a new local player by using create local player. When you do this, you get asked the option of what controller ID to assign to it. The default is -1, which basically means it will just use the next available controller. So for now, that's all we really care about. Okay, so expand it open. You want to spawn the player controller, which is correct. You do, and that's it. Okay, and they're going to create the controller object. So I'll put in another player start in there. Set going, and we'll assign our game mode to our new multiplayer game mode. So when I push play, I've now got 2 games running. Okay, and for one thing I forgot to do with the new game mode is set the character up. So let me just do that. Default pawn, third person character. Okay, and we get split screen. Okay, but we're not going to do split screen. We're going to try and do one where it's all of one screen, like a party game. So how does it actually work? Well, the reason why you get a split screen is because in the project settings, a default option's turned on, which enables it. And you can find that in your maps and modes. You'll see in here local multiplayer. It says use split screen turned on. And you can customize that if you want to make it vertical, split screen, whatever you want to do. I'm going to turn this off though. Now, what this does now is it will just have the one camera view. The other player is still there. They're still spawned in. They still have a controller. But the controls are just for this new character here. And what we want to try and do is have a fixed camera perspective to allow this. So we can't use a camera that's on the player character. So let's go ahead and edit our player characters to not have this in here. So just go ahead and I'm going to go to the camera boom here and delete it and delete the camera. Next, I'm going to make a public camera. You're going to look over the whole entire level like this. Okay. So we're going to go to our place option here. Go to all, and we want to choose a camera actor. And I prefer just the pilot cameras because I can just place it exactly where I want it in the scene. So if I place it like that, that's looking pretty good. And now eject out of it, and there's the camera set up already there. Now I want this camera to be the first thing that we look through from the player's eyes. So you've got a couple of ways of doing that. You can use the level blueprint, or you can make this camera actor have a blueprint on it that can turn that on. I prefer to use the blueprint method because then I can just drag this into any level and it'll work without me having to go into the level blueprint, coding it into there manually each time. So to create a blueprint actor for this, select it, and you choose this button over here where it looks like little blueprint nodes connected together. Click on that, and we're going to click on and change the name here, level camera, and select that. And all I'm doing here on the event graph on begin play is I want to get the player controller and do set view target with blend. And we're just going to say that to be self. So this is going to set the player camera to this view. Now notice here how we get player controllers doing index 0. So this index value is actually related to local multiplayer, But when you turn off split screen, this is actually referring just to it's going to change the camera view of the first player, which is what's when you have non-split screen is going to be using. So that's exactly what you want to have happen here. We don't have to do it for all the players because there's only one camera view. So now when I push play, we get our camera view, and I can run around with my controlled character. Now, obviously, it's been a multiplayer game. I need to control both of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up two controllers, and I'll show you them being controlled. 1 second. Okay, so now I have two controllers plugged in. I'm using two Xbox controllers. One thing that people will often try and do is, can you make the keyboard control player 1 and a controller control player 2? By default, I don't believe you can. You have to go and edit how the engine registers controllers. So by default, a keyboard and the first controller will be assigned to player 1. So for example, I'm going to move with the keyboard now, and I pick up my player 1 controller. It does the same controls there. Okay, so that's one thing you can't do straight away. If I find a good solution for that, I'll let you know. But otherwise, it is going into the C++ of the engine and editing that slightly. But more on that hopefully in the future. But we've got player 1 controlling here with a controller. And I've got a second controller over here controlling number 2. Okay, and hey presto, we've got a local multiplayer game working. But let's say we are playing a game and we want another player to join in. Okay, we want another player to click the start button and join in on the game. Well, how does that work? On create local multiplayer, we can't just create new player character and default spawn them in. Instead, we have to go to default spawn class and change this to none. So what's going to happen here is going to spawn in the player controllers at the start of the game, not the player pawns. And you want to do this for as many times as players that could possibly be in your game. And this is before everyone joins your game. Okay, so everyone will get start the game. Every game will have these player controls, which are just floating there waiting to be used. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a for loop. I'm going to go with 4 player, so I'm going to go 0 to 3. Loop body, create local player. Okay, so that's going to create these player controllers. Now I'm going to make a custom player controller. MP game, we'll call it. And in the controller here, I'm going to set up an input to allow me to possess and take control of the game. So I'm going to create a new input for this. So let's go to my input actions, and we'll create a new input. And we'll do IA join game. Add it to my mappings. And I'm going to choose the join game mapping. Just realized I spelt it wrong. Let's quickly fix that. It's going to bug me. There we go. And on join game, I'm going to use the start button on the controller. Okay. So which is gamepad special right. Okay. So hit save, close this. Now on the NPC MP game, I want it to map the controllers to my begin play here, not on the character. So the problem at the moment, by default in a third person template, is they have the mapping input tied to the character, which I don't want. I want this tied to the controller instead. So I'm just going to take this from here, delete this, and go back to my player controller and put it on begin play. Put in self there instead. Okay, so there's our custom controller. We need to make sure our game mode is using it. So let's go back to our special game mode. Player controller class, PC MP game. So with the default pawn class set to none, that means no characters are going to spawn in with the controllers. The controllers are going to spawn in on their own. However, I do eventually want them to start in with characters. So what I'm going to do is, after I create all the controllers, I'm going to go to completed down here, and I'm going to do set default pawn. I'm going to choose the class for my pawn. And the first thing I want to do is I want to get the local player character. So get player controller. And the local one would be 0. That would be not local, but that would be like the host, essentially the player 1. And here we're going to do restart player. Okay. So when I push play, we'll see just one character coming in. Like that. There you go. Right. So one thing you're going to have issue with is on mapping context and also with the camera view. As you saw, it broke the camera view going from our parent view over here. And the reason why I was doing that is because it's getting the player controller and setting the view target to that before it spawned in the character mesh. And that's because the player controller is set to set the view target by default to whatever it's processing. So for this, we're going to need to edit our player controller. So go to our player controller here, and you want to turn off the auto manage active camera target. So now, when it spawns in a new player, it won't change to the player character control camera. Instead, it will stick to the original camera. As you see, I only got one character in there. So we need to make it work for the other ones. So we're going to get these 3 errors, and this is coming for the 3 characters that haven't spawned in yet. So these are looking for the player controller and adding mapping context to it. So all we've got to do in that case is we just need to put a little delay in at the start here before it does add the mapping context to the game. You may also want to do an is valid no just to make sure that this is still valid. It should be by that point, but we'll just double check and put that in there. Okay, no more errors. Okay, so now how to get them to start with a new player. So we go back to our player controller. Okay, so now we want to do the join game button. So when we get the join game, the first thing we'll do is check whether or not we already have a controlled pawn on this controller. So we're going to do get controlled pawn. And I'm going to put that into an is valid node. Check to see that it exists or not. And if it doesn't exist, I want it to restart the game, restart the player, sorry, in the game. So I'm going to do get game mode. And then from there, I want to do restart player. That goes if it is not valid, because we only want to do it if they haven't got a character already, a pawn. And this needs a new player, and this will be just self. So whichever controller is the one pushing this button. Okay. Controller been disconnected. Oh, that'd be because battery just died. Let's put it back on. There we go. So now let's go ahead and push play. So I can move around with my player 1 controller. And player 2 obviously doesn't do anything until I hit the start button. And then they're spawned in. And now I can run around with 2 players. Okay. And that's how you add more players to your game. And if I hit start again, nothing happens because they've already got a controlled pawn. Okay. So there you have it. We can now add players to our local multiplayer game without using split screen. So this is the first step in how to make a local multiplayer game. And what we're going to be doing in the next videos is going through and adding some basic multiplayer game mayhem to our game here. We're going to do a very simple like mini game, party game type thing, just to show how we can get used to manipulating and controlling different player controllers. So if you want to watch the next part, head over to patreon.com/Ryan Laley. We can find all my videos early before anyone else for just $1 a month. A massive thank you to all our patrons and YouTube members for the continued support in the channel. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.